Composing music using GarageBand. Hi folks, I'm Mr. Petrosky, and I'll be your host for this presentation of Composing Music using GarageBand. As MTV and the record industry have popularized the notion of pop stars achieving success with a limited amount of formal training, in reality, most professional musicians have built successful careers based on hard work, dedication, and a solid knowledge base of the fundamentals of music. As technology has come to play an integral part in the performance of many popular styles of music, it has also changed the way in which we musicians create music. This presentation will provide information on the basic elements of music, as well as instruction for using the GarageBand software application in order to create original multi-timbre music compositions that contain melodic, harmonic, and rhythmic aspects, along with dynamic changes. This presentation will help any student that has an interest in exploring his or her creativity and self-expression through music. It'll help them to develop the technical and music composition skills necessary to create original music works. Now let's take some time to review the definitions of the basic elements of music: melody, harmony, rhythm, tempo, and dynamics. Melody is one of the most essential elements in a musical piece. It is defined as a series of pitches that are played one after the other, which express thoughts, ideas, or emotions. Melody really functions as the composer's simple sentence. It is the main course or entree of the musical meal. Here's an example. Harmony is the combination of two or more pitches played together which support or enrich the melody. The most common form of harmony is a chord. Here's an example of some chords. Rhythm is the organization of beats or pulses in time. Since music is measured in the dimension of time and not space, composers organize how often they want the given beats or pulses to be played in time by a musician. Often these beats or pulses occur in patterns. Here is an example of a rhythm being played. Tempo is the speed of the central beat of a musical piece. The tempo is a steady or constant pulse upon which the melody, harmony, and rhythms are structured. In this example, first you're going to hear a moderate tempo, followed by a fast tempo. Notice that the tempo on the bottom is set to 120. Now the tempo is going to be changed from 120 to 160, which will make it a fast tempo. Dynamics are the volume of the music. They range from very soft to very loud and are represented by a letter or letters shown below. To the right, you'll see both the Italian and the English translations. In the following example, listen how the dynamics start at a pianissimo very soft, then they build to a fortissimo very loud, and then they go back to a pianissimo very soft. With a good understanding of the basic building blocks of music, the elements, we are now ready to create music. One way to experience the creative process of composing without spending years formally training is through the use of the GarageBand software application. Let's get started. GarageBand is sound editing software that allows the user to manipulate original or pre-factory sound files called loops. Loops are short musical phrases that can be stretched over a period of time, in which the phrase would then be repeated. The loops are stored in sound libraries and labeled in a variety of ways by instrument, genres, and mood. The loops are then imported into a timeline and layered into the composition. By layering the loops in the timeline, the user is creating a multi-timbral composition. When using GarageBand, in essence the user is creating a composition by constructing a collage of sound files. Here's an example. To get started creating music using GarageBand, open the application by clicking on the GarageBand guitar in the dock. Then click New Project, give the project a title, and designate where you want it to be saved on your computer. This will open a blank GarageBand slate in which you are ready to start composing. First, click on the Loop Browser icon in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen in order to open up the Loop Browser and start searching for sounds. Decide on what types of sounds you're looking for, then click on the corresponding sound library bubbles. Note that the more bubbles you select, the fewer search results you'll have. Also note, there is a reset button in the upper left-hand corner of the Loop Browser to start a new search. Listen to loops that were found as a result of your search by clicking on the name of the loop in the search results window, which appears below the Loop Browser. Clicking the name of the loop once plays it. Clicking the name of the loop a second time stops it. Import a loop from the sound library into your tune by clicking and dragging the name of the loop from the search results window into the timeline area. Dropping it imports the loop by prompting GarageBand to create a new track in your workspace. To edit the imported loop, there are 3 editing tools that pop up when your cursor is over certain regions of the imported loop. The first tool is the slide tool, and it is used by clicking on the middle of the imported loop and dragging it to any desired location. The second tool is the silence tool, and it appears when your cursor is over the bottom right corner of the imported loop, and it is used by clicking and dragging the bottom right corner to any desired location. This creates an area of silence. The third tool is the loop tool, and it appears when your cursor is over the top right corner of the imported loop, and it is used by clicking and dragging the top right corner to any desired location, causing the loop to be repeated. Create multiple voices or layers in your composition by repeating the previous 4 steps. However, this time, after you've created a second loop, click and drag the second loop into position under the first loop. This will cause these 2 voices to be played at the same time as soon as they overlap. You can create as many voices or layers as you'd like by importing multiple loops. In this example, you'll see that I've overlapped 3 voices. First, you're going to hear the entrance of the guitar, followed by the bass, and then the drums. To delete a loop, Click on the loop to highlight it, then press the backspace delete key on your typing keypad. That will delete the loop. To delete an entire track, click on the track you want to delete, roll up to the word track in the top toolbar, click it, roll down to delete track, click it, and that will delete the entire track. To add a dynamic to a certain voice or loop, click on the Dynamic drop-down tab that appears in the bottom right corner of the track window. This drop-down tab reveals the dynamic line as it appears below the music of that instrument. To make a dynamic change, click on the dynamic line to add an event bubble. Each added event bubble can be slid up for a crescendo, an increase in volume, or down for a decrescendo, a decrease in volume. In this example, I'm going to create a crescendo. To delete an event bubble, simply click on the event bubble, or click and drag over a series of event bubbles and press the backspace delete key on your typing keypad. You now have the knowledge, tools, and skills to compose original music. One last bit of advice before you begin to compose. Oftentimes, beginner composers write music that's too dense. It has too many instruments playing at once. Much like a play in which the first scene, all characters come out on stage talking. That would confuse the audience. So what a good playwright does is they slowly introduce characters throughout the play as need be. So too should a composer do this with his or her music. They should direct the listener's ear throughout the composition, focusing on certain instruments at any given point. A good way to achieve this is to shape the music with your dynamic changes. Remember, making revisions is a necessary step when it comes to creating art. But most importantly, have fun, enjoy making music, and create something that you're going to be proud of when you're done.